I know, it's been a while, I'm really sorry, but this is my June favourites, so favourites of last month. I think the last one I did was maybe March, so it's been a while, and when I actually look at it, I don't have that many favourites for the length of time that I haven't done a favourites video. So you know, it's a good job that I don't do them regularly, because I don't have enough stuff. Anyway, let's crack on. Since I last did a favourites video, we spent a few days in Centre Parks, which if you've seen my vlogs you will know already. And something I bought from Centre Parks is actually one of my favourite pieces of jewellery that I own now, I think, and it is this one. So it's a teeny tiny little Emma Bartlett bracelet. Actually, I think it's Emma Bartlett. Can you Google Emma Bartlett for me, just to make sure that I'm crediting the right person?
What?
My mistake, it's the Estella Bartlett bracelet. Estella Bartlett do loads of really cute jewellery, and this is one of the ones I found in the little shops there. Basically, it's just this little slip-on bracelet that doesn't have any tie cords or anything, which I really loved about it because I get so frustrated when there's like a little dangly tie cord or I have to try and clip something up. So having something that's on an elastic that you can just slip over your wrist, I absolutely loved. So it's just a basic silver coated beaded bracelet, so it's got some tiny little silver beads, and then on a little loop is a dangly silver flower as well with a little white centre. It's like a little daisy and it's called the Wildflower bracelet, and I think it was just to sort of remind you to be a little bit wild sometimes. And being the old lady that I am, I think I do need some reminding just to chill out and go with the flow sometimes. So this is a really cute little bracelet and I love it. Next thing I want to talk about is this brush here. It's a Real Techniques flat contour brush. It's number 301 and it's one of their Bold Metals collection. I had my eye on this for quite some time. I'd look at it and then I'd get emails from Boots saying that, oh, they have discounts on this stuff and you can go and get a brush for a discounted price. And I was like, you know what, I really quite want that one there because the one I've got just isn't cutting it for a contour. So I went and bought this one in the end. It was a spontaneous thing. All my purchases are quite spontaneous really. What I really like about this is the sturdy brush that it's got. If anyone saw me trying out the Hoola bronzer for the first time, you'll know that the brush that came with that one was a good shape, but the bristles were really long and it was a little bit difficult to use. So I found this one, which again is sort of like an oblong shape, so perfect for getting under those cheekbones there. And I found it works really well with a second thing, which is also my favourite for this month, and this is the Rimmel Kate Moss Face Palette Contour Blush and Highlighter. So I really quite like this one because it's not too pigmented, which means that it's perfect for everyday kind of wear when you're going to work or even if you're not supposed to wear makeup to school. It doesn't show up very much, so you can wear like a little bit of it and still show that you've made like a bit of effort, but it doesn't look too much or too overpowering. So I love wearing this one to work. The only downside of it, which I know some people might not get on with so well, is the fact that it is a little shimmery. Most of the time that's fine, but if you want really kind of a sculpted dark contour underneath your cheekbones, then maybe the shimmer isn't going to be too much for you. I don't find it too bad, but some people really won't like it. That's the only thing to be aware of there. I do really like this as a general kind of everyday sort of face palette, and the blush is a very nice colour. I like the blush a lot, so that's another thing that I've been using a lot this month. Something else that I've discovered recently, which has been a go-to for me for the past few weeks, is this, and it is a powder foundation by Bare Minerals. It's the Bare Minerals Ready SPF 20 foundation. So I find that in the summertime I tend to prefer powder makeup as opposed to liquid ones, purely because in the summer it can get a little bit hot, a little bit sticky. Me not having the driest skin of all times, it's sort of combination oily, tend to get a little bit shiny in the summer. So I tend to find that putting a powder foundation on to start the day looks a lot better than a cream foundation or a liquid foundation at this stage, mostly because it's a better match to my skin tone than my current Chanel foundation. So this one, it doesn't look like you've piled loads of it on, unless you do obviously of course pile loads of it on, because it has actually got a really good coverage, which I was quite surprised about. So I just take a Real Techniques buffing brush swill it a bit in the powder, and then put it all over my face. So you can build the coverage up. You can build it up quite high as well. I dropped this in a bowl of cereal, so it's a little bit weird at the top because it got milk in it. I was eating my cereal and doing my makeup at the same time. See, not all girls can multitask. I fail at being a girl. But aside from that, it works really well and I really like it. So, Bare Minerals, well done for your powder foundation, which also has SPF 20 in. Another reason it is perfect for the summer. Something else which I find I tend to do more so towards the summer is take more care or pay more attention to my feet. Something that I have been loving using are these, or this combination rather, and this is from the Body Shop. So there is the Peppermint Smoothing Pumice Foot Scrub and also the Peppermint Intensive Foot Rescue. So after I've had a shower, sometimes I'll get a bit of this foot scrub, put a bit in my hands and scrub it all over my feet, and that kind of exfoliates a lot of the dead skin cells, maybe some around the cuticles as well. I tend to find just need a bit of exfoliation more so than anything else. And then afterwards, once I've dried all my feet up, I'll slather my foot in this foot cream here, stick on an old pair of socks and just wait for it to soak in. I can't sleep with socks on, does my nut in, so I have to put it on in sort of like early evening and just let it soak up in the evening. But then afterwards, my feet feel baby smooth, and I think I do need to do this combination of beauty foot treatment quite regularly, especially in the summer when people will be wearing sandals and getting their feet out a bit more. I need to paint my toenails as well. But using this combination of foot scrub and foot lotion has really worked, and it smells like peppermint, which is also lovely. By now, you guys will know that I love Victoria's Secret. I went in there and again spent hundreds of pounds, but one of the things I bought on my most recent trips is this. So it's one of the little Victoria's Secret bralettes, I think they're called. So it's just like a mini little crop top kind of thing, which doubles as a bra with one of the thick elastic bands at the bottom. I really like this for when you've had a shower sort of fairly early on in the evening and you're not ready to go to bed yet, but you don't want to put a full-on bra back on, so it's sort of lounging around at the evening time. This is a great thing for just keeping everything in place and making sure that running down the stairs doesn't hurt too much. So I really like this, and it's really comfy. Comfy enough that you can actually sleep in it and be fine, which might be a good thing if someone were to try and come in and wake me up in the morning and I'm wearing a pyjama top that has let my boob fall out. So that would be a good a good safety guard here. The only kind of bra I'd wear in bed, mind, because wearing bras in bed I've heard is not very good for you. But no, I really love this, and I've only got one, so I'll most likely get a few more. I know I shouldn't. Me and my spending habits, God, blimmin' awful. I've just finished doing another show quite recently, and it was a 2-week long show. Now that is the longest run of shows that I've ever done, and I was also trying to hold down a full-time job, which I managed, so I know, props to me. But at the same time, I was so knackered and my health afterwards took a massive dive. Probably because I just spent 2 weeks eating junk, like this. So this is a jelly sweet. It's called the Natural Confectionery Company's Jelly Snakes. And I really like these because they've got no artificial colours and no artificial flavours. So they're pretty sort of natural. They are still very unhealthy for you, probably there's a lot of sugar in there, but they're just really quite tasty sweets to eat. And when you're doing a show, you don't want to get bogged down with something heavy like chocolate. So we're all passing around sweets and Haribos, but this is something that went down quite well, and I really enjoy eating them. So I bought myself another packet. They're just a bit more refreshing than stuffing loads of chocolate in and chamming down on that instead. So it's a very nice, again, kind of summery food. I probably wouldn't eat these in the winter. These are actually sort of rekindled from my times in sixth form. I used to eat these loads when I was revising. Good snack food. Something else that I've been loving recently, basic white girl coming out here, but is avocado and poached egg on toast. I am quite fussy when it comes to avocado. I don't like it when it's not ripe enough. And I also don't like it when it's chopped into blocks. I have to have it mashed. There's something about the consistency of blocked avocado which kind of I don't really like very much. But having it mashed with a poached egg, which is cooked just enough that the middle will run out, with a bit of salt and pepper over the top, is so tasty. It's it's so basic of me to say because everyone's on a hype about avocados, but honestly, if you've not tried it, I really recommend it. It is a very healthy food for you, a good start to the day because it's got lots of nutrients in. There's a reason that so many people like it. So I'm going to say that is my reasoning for being basic, is because it's good. That was such a poor argument, my goodness. And the last thing is a bit of a guilty pleasure that I have recently discovered, and I blame it entirely on my sister, but it's the TV show Love Island, which is on ITV2. It's been going on for a few weeks now, and it's like every night. It's sort of like Big Brother, but on an island, where the goal is to find love. And there are all these people, and they go into couples, and they kind of basically try and make things work. They have little challenges here and there. They argue a lot. I wouldn't recommend watching it with your parents, because it's not the kind of thing you do that with. But I've kind of become a little bit addicted. You get emotionally attached to the characters there, and you want the couples to work out. And when they don't, it's very upsetting, but you kind of want to see what happens anyway. So much drama though, so much drama, but at the same time, it's kind of entertaining. So, don't judge. And that is the last of my favourites, I do believe. I think that's all of them. Thank you for watching. Again, I'm sorry that it took so long for me to put a favourites video up, but I don't get that much new stuff. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also don't forget to subscribe because I put new videos up every Wednesday. Yes, and they're very good videos if I do say so myself. Anyway, I'll see you next week. Bye!